Okay, so far we've had a look at how to animate, how to use the tools, and how to get rid of backgrounds. So the next kind of step is to use the tools so that we can get images from the internet and cut them up and get them to move in sort of separate ways. So I've got a new photo of Iron Man here. I'm going to change the canvas color, so I'm going to click on the grey and I choose a canvas color. Okay, I've already cut the background out. Okay, it has got a bit of his hand cut out, but that doesn't matter. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut out part of his body. Okay, so I can move it separately. So I'm going to take this arm, I'm going to make it so it swings. So I'm going to use the polygon lasso tool again by clicking and holding. And now I'm going to click around this arm. Because we've already cut the background out, we don't have to be really, really careful with the arm, except for where it connects onto the body. So where it connects onto the body, and be quite careful going around here. When it's not at the body, I can be quite kind of like loose with it and not precise. And now I'm going to right click on it inside the marching ants and go edit, cut. So that arm is now gone. And now I can press the escape key and we have got Iron Man there without an arm. So I'm going to right click and paste and his arm has reappeared. But what you can see is the blue box is just around that arm. And this box here is now just around the body. So if I move them, I can move them separately. And that's great for our animation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these back together, just about there, and I'm going to rotate this arm so that it moves separately to the body. So if we click and hold on state 1, drag it to the flip chart to get state 2, select it, and the second button down from the filled in arrow is called the scale tool. So when I click on that, I get these dots. If I move outside of the arm, it turns into, you can see a circle with an arrow. That means if I click and move, it rotates. So I'm going to go back to the arrow. Now that's created a gap there, but I can just drag this back in. I can also use the arrow keys on the keyboard for more precise movement. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to drag state 2 to make state 3, click on the arm, click the scale tool, rotate it a bit more, go back to the filled in arrow and move it with the arrow to another point. I'm going to do that one more time. Scale tool, rotate. Okay, precise movement with the arrow. One last time before we have a look at this. Scale tool, rotate back to the arrow, move it to where I want it. Okay, what you've got to remember is the body behind that has been cut off, so if you rotate it too much you might get a weird little looking bit of body, but hopefully nothing too bad. So now I've got these states where the arm moves. And if I run it, you can see he's doing kind of like a sort of punching the air sort of motion there. But it looks a little bit more effective because it's moving independently of the body, because I used my polygon lasso tool to cut it out separately. So that's the next stage of the animation, kind of the last stage that we're going to look at, and the time we've got to is getting images maybe from the internet and cutting sections out of them to move them separately. So have a go at that.